Welcome, and in 5 minutes I'm going to turn this empty tank into a wonderful mini ecosystem for these isopods. I scored a great deal off Facebook Marketplace and applied some silicone to the sides of the tank. I'm basing this build around this interesting piece of driftwood and already have an idea that it would look great in the corner. I recommend using gloves and going easy on the spray foam as it expands quite a bit. I'm applying it in circular motions to get a natural look. The silicone on the sides of the wall will make sure that the spray foam adheres properly to the glass. I've seen other YouTubers skip this step and have success, and for a tank this small, you can get away with just using the spray foam, but I had it on hand and always like including this step no matter what the size of the tank. I'm placing the driftwood in right away as it cures fairly quickly. I want some plants higher in the walls, and this is the best way in my opinion. I'm stuffing paper towels in these little planters, otherwise the spray foam will fill in the pots to the cracks. I end up making 4 of these, but I only used 2. After finishing the pots, it's time now for the second wall. This part's very therapeutic, and I recommend using gloves throughout this process as it can get everywhere and it's extremely hard to get off of your hands or any surface. Carving every inch is important, otherwise the silicone won't stick to the foam, and this is how you get the dirt to stay on your background. This is the final look before I apply the silicone, and make sure to be in a well-ventilated area as the smell of the silicone is quite pungent. Make sure to cover every inch in silicone. After covering the background with silicone, it's now time to add the dirt, and make sure to do this fast as the silicone can cure. This bag of dirt had perlite, which are those little white rocks, and I ended up removing those off camera. I'm going to use a different method on the last wall, which I should have done on the first 2. This will actually save time, and you can skip the carving and silicone step and actually just place your dirt on top of the spray foam. I'm also going to be adding some cork bark to the background as well. The background's finally starting to come together quite nicely. Besides removing those perlite rocks, I think I'm going to fill in the rest of the walls. I'll be using some spray foam and more cork bark and sphagnum moss. The sphagnum moss will serve 2 purposes. It'll make the tank look better and also hold in more humidity. Humidity is key in a terrarium as the plants I will be using are tropical and love that type of environment. I'm adding my drainage layer, making sure it's nice and level, and then some window screen mesh to keep the substrate out. After adding the dirt, this is what the tank's looking like, and I also removed those perlite. This is the first time I'm using baby tears in a build. Moss would have been my first choice, but it's summer and hard to find in nature at the moment. This stuff can grow quite fast, and I will have to trim it unlike moss, but I think it's going to be a great substitute. From my propagation box, I'm taking my last remaining patches of moss, and also some cuttings that I'll list in the video. Propagation boxes are an easy life hack to get unlimited plants. Please leave a comment if you'd like me to make a video on how I built this. I'm not sure the name of this one. Please comment if you know the name of this plant, and I ended up moving it to the floor as it was a little too big and throwing off the sense of scale. Tweezers are nice, but sometimes using your hands can make this step much easier. After giving the tank a good initial spray, it's time to add our cleanup crew. I found these isopods. I'm not sure what the species is, but they're found in California, and I also added some springtails off camera. Leave a comment if you recognize what movie the song from the 2-week update is. Enjoy and subscribe if you can.